Welcome back, everybody. I am Emerging Boat, and we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. We're on day 38. We are doing the Black Nadir story right now. Boom, we'll jump over to our battle map here, or really just our map in general, and do a quick overview of the things that have happened since the last playthrough video. But let's do adjustment of our light here so you can get unglared view. We have finally located the Spartan stronghold that the Nietzschean is currently at. We think it's about in this location right here. Our Argo is right here, so we're getting close to it. So we're going to try to hunt the Nietzschean down and take him on. We've been building up some forces in Laconia. I almost forgot the name of the place. We've been building up our forces of Laconian, Helots, Cyclops, and our allies at the Simici. And now we think we are trying to close in on the Nietzschean and try to take him on. What has happened since our last voyage video, though? We did a couple of important adventures. On day 34, we did the Omega adventure for the From the Ashes hub. We watched with a Simican Archon and some Cyclops friends as the Simici fleet prepared for war. The Spartans were planning to transport a workforce of Cyclops under the direction of a Spartan by the title of the E4. The Ephor. I don't remember his specific name, but he was someone of high importance. Mnemos and Serapion, our Cyclops friends, continue their argument on whether the Cyclops should continue their vow of peace or if they should fight for the people. We sided with Mnemos, saying that the Nietzschean and his empire thrive on violence and we can win the war without the Cyclops breaking their vow. We set sail to the location of the transport under the cover of night and launched our assault at dawn. The Cyclops, basically in this whole battle, we had help from all of our friends from like just the relationships that we fostered along the way. So the Cyclops protected us from a flank of Spartan soldiers using their bodies as shields. The Simici protected our Titans from the death-dealing Thanporos, and the Helots overwhelmed a portion of the Spartan army just with the sheer amount of number of people that they had with them. So we continue this huge battle. We fight our way up to the transport where the F4 or the E4 is also located. And we get into this whole dialogue with him before we are about to kill him. And right before the E4 is about to reveal some key information, we also learned that the E4 was previously, he was a member of the Athenian Empire at one point, and he defected over to the Spartans. So we're about to learn some information, and then our friend, the Simican Archon, I forget the Archon's name as well, but he basically silences him and says, your time is done, like we're going to kill you here. The E4 says, do you see Argonauts? I'm being silenced before you're about to learn the truth. And the Archon is basically like, fine, all right, go ahead, you can say your piece. And we do learn some important information where the E4 is saying that the Athenians, the Simici, they actually not only just kind of like idly stood by as the Nietzschean grew in power for some time, but they actually supported him and provided him resources and provided him knowledge so that the Athenians could consolidate their power and grow their own empire while kind of using the Nietzschean and his Spartan empire as a distraction for other nations to focus on instead of focusing on the Athenians. And so the Nietzscheans just continues to grow and grow in power, basically acting like an idiot and pretending he doesn't know things and taking the support from the Athenians while starting to just lay siege to other cities and take over the land. And eventually he comes to the doorstep of the Athenians. And then at this point, that's when the Simican are just like, oh, actually, maybe this is a problem. Maybe we should try to stop him. But at that point, it's too late. And the Nietzschean is too powerful. The Simici cannot take them on their own. And so once we learn this information, we kill the Ephor, And then the Archon basically asks us to keep this information a secret, to not tell other people about this. And we say, no, I think other people should know about this. We can't just keep hiding this kind of stuff, because that's how, like, all these secrets are just information that people are going to probably find out anyway. So it's better if we start sharing it now, get it over with, continue to build our relationship with our allies, and hope that we can keep that trust. But we need to truly be allies to be able to take down the Nietzschean. We got the Voice of the People weapon as a result of that Omega adventure. So that was cool. We used that in our last battle. Then what else? On day 36, we did the Alpha adventure for the Misery Industry adventure. And in that, we investigated an old ambrosia extraction facility, and we decided to see if there were Cyclopes in the area that were abandoned, because Cyclopes are typically used in these work camps that are around these ambrosia extraction facilities. So we decide, okay, like, this area is in total disarray, it's in total shambles. This toxic ambrosia is spilling out into the area. The fumes are horrible. Let's see if we can find some people in the area that need to be evacuated and try to help them. So we do. We find some Cyclopes, we find Helots, we get them out of the area, we give them some resources from the Argo to help them get back on their feet and to stabilize a little bit. And in that whole process of helping them, we had the Orphan come down with the Black Breath. What was it? The Black Breath affliction. Luckily, we have the technology that allows us to spend a priest. So we used a priest to be able to get that affliction off of her, so she did not keep it for very long. And then after we helped those people out of the area, we helped the Tsimiki turn off the ambrosia flow into that area so that they could start to establish a base in enemy territory, essentially. So that is where we are at. I think we can just go ahead and start getting into our adventure here. Let's bring the lights back up. There we go. And we are going to, I'm going to need my little booster seat here because we're about to go to another tile. We have to go south here. We can't go west because we don't have this technology that allows us to go directly down here. I may, once I get to this tile, depending on how many progress tokens I have, maybe I will sail away and come back, because I would like to at least get to this mid-range level of our forces. I don't really want to go in with the lowest level, but I'm not set on trying to go in with the highest level either, but we'll see. Pull this, and we are about to be traveling south. We're going to mark off a day on our timeline here, and we need tile number 42. This is a Helots tile. I don't see any hidden codes on here. No, yeah, not a whole lot going on this tile, just an adventure hub. But I do like adventures. There's been a lot of adventures in this area in general. All right, we'll do our exploration cards next. These back over here. We have Cyclopean Shrine of Iapetus, gain 3 relief resources, and then we will lose a Titan because we do have 4 refugees. I did lose the Earthshaker Titan in the last fight, but I used a, what's it called? Hecaton core to get a new one. This is probably the lowest we've actually been on our Titan level. I mean, we're still at 12 out of 15, but we haven't really lost a lot of Titans in this cycle. I definitely lost a lot more in my first playthrough, but I think I just am a bit better at the game now. All right, next pile will be the Spy Network. Ooh, we'll gain a progress token. Take that. And we are not allied with anybody. This gets removed until the next timeline battle. Oh, I forgot about our adversary activation here. So let's go over to this one, and we're going to get another one too. So we'll just move that now. Gain 3 War Machine resources and then gain 1 danger as a group. Who do we want gaining that danger? Let's give it to, I don't know. Let's just do this randomly. All right, we're gonna be done with this anyway. Whoever gets the lowest roll here, you're gonna get that danger. Oh, it's pretty good rolls. 6, so we'll give that to Leocules. All right, we'll take these, shuffle them back in, and then we're gonna get to go into our adventure. And let's go ahead and just roll this. Boom. 4. I don't know what 4 is gonna give us there. Pull out the book. Let's see, 4 would mean From the Ashes. I think that's one of the ones that we finished, right? Let's see, Adventures from the Ashes. Yeah, we finished that one. I think I'll re-roll this. I guess I could choose to do the other thermopile one, but I think I'd rather focus on closing out some of these other hubs if we can. So I'm going to re-roll this since it landed on one that we've already completed. It's going to be an 8. So that would be Misery Industry. We could do Misery Industry, or we could do Intended Purpose. Yeah, let's close out Intended Purpose. Just do that one. They knew no mercy. Heritage. Okay. Ah, good that side. Okay. Argonauts. Heritage. +1 for Death Follows. I may end up writing Leocules' name down. I love both of these Mnemoses, but if I had to pick one that gets back into our Mnemos vault, I think I would rather pick Death Follows. Spewed by the Abyss is awesome for cycle 2, and I think it's good for the other cycles as well, just not quite as good. Death Follows just remains an awesome Mnemos throughout the game. Heritage, 1 for Cast Off there. Nothing for Scorned Champion yet. Oh, everybody's got Heritage, dang. Okay, well, Minoan Heritage, it kind of makes sense here. So then we're gonna add in, let's see, timeline here. That was at M14. C1, is this the right day? Yeah. And I lost Crisis Protocol from a sabotage card. But we don't have any sabotage cards in our deck anymore because I did remove them. Because I researched the technology that removed our last sabotage card. But I'm sure as soon as we flip that Doom card, we're going to be getting more sabotage cards back in there. Go back to Argonauts. And then I'm going to reveal her third ability. Oh, I guess I didn't put her thing back on there. I was looking at some of the the abilities we had coming up, and I did not put her thing back on there. So there we go. It's convenient. It's already off. Let's see. So we did her. Now we'll go to Orphan, Heritage. Yeah, everybody's got Heritage. Okay. Orphan only needs 1 more node on Death Precedes to retire, or, I mean, maybe at some point I'll do, in the first playthrough, I never actually, like, chose to not retire somebody. Maybe we'll do that with somebody on this? I don't know. If I do it with anybody, maybe I would do it with Leocules, because I do really like both of those Mnemoses. All right, so we need to go to the Omega Adventure for Intended Purpose. It'll be 62. Let's go bring that up in our voiceover app here. Adventure Hubs. Misery, nope, not Misery Industry. Intended Purpose. That knew no mercy.
From among the boulders on the hillside, you gaze down upon the valley below, taking in the sight before you with awe. Ruins sprawl across the vale's floor, ancient edifices that tower above the land. Their outlines are impossible to mistake. The blocky, angular design of the Leocules so poorly imitated by the Nietzschean's regime. A settlement of this size would be something a historian could only dream of. A city to house, what, 1 million souls? This, you have learned, was once the capital of the ancient civilization. The city of Leocules, sitting at the foot of a soaring mountain. You see dozens of Spartan warriors moving about, shepherding shackled Cyclopes toward excavation sites. In the heart of the city, under the shadow of a hollow citadel, a forest of tents has been erected, while closer to the edge of the ruins, a complex of pens has been built to contain the giant slave workforce. You will need to be wary. They have the numbers. The E4 Basileos has taken charge of this excavation and surrounded himself with his most elite troops. He cannot be allowed to escape.
Okay. So we have a test here. Each Argonaut tests cunning or wisdom, 9 or higher, gain 1 fate and or 1 danger to add, +1 each. If Argo Fate is 6 or higher, I don't think we have any Argo Fate. No, yeah, we're at 0 Argo Fate. Oh, okay, so I think I actually would be okay with not 4 successes. This is going to be hard. But let's look at this page. Argonauts here. And then what we need to cunning or wisdom. 0. Leocules doesn't have anything. Hypatia has 1. Olympia has 2. Orphan has 0. Okay, so our best bet is Olympia. Yeah, so I think ideally I would get 2 to 3 successes here. So let's do Olympia first, and she has the best chance. And let's just see. Let's gain 1 fate and 1 danger with her. So she will need to get 5 or higher here. 10. Okay, great. So that is awesome. Then next best would be Hypatia, who's going to have +1. We also gain 1 fate, 1 danger with her. Let's see, the penalty for failing this is gaining a danger. It's 3. Oh wait, what did I need with her? 6 or higher. Okay. Ooh, do I fate reroll? Let's see, the 0 to 1 success is +2 fate for each Argonaut. Yeah, I really want to avoid that. So let's see if we can reroll this. All right, come on. 6 or higher. 7. Okay. I don't really care that much about passing with the other 2, so I'm not going to gain any bonuses for them. We'll just roll them at the same time. My die. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So they would both need a 9 or higher because they don't have any bonuses. It's a 6 and a 7. They both fail. They'll both gain a danger. Go to 2 danger. You get 1 danger. So it'll be 2 successes total. And then 1 Argonaut may reset their rage. Nobody has rage. And gain the roused condition card. I do like the roused condition card, I think. I actually forget what it does because I haven't gotten it yet this playthrough. I know it's a positive one. The purpose of the Kratos table abilities, treat your rage as 1 higher. I know my Titan loadout here is not my normal stuff. And I may be going back to my old loadout in the next fight. So who do I want to give this to? I'm gonna give it to Olympia. So I may put her back on Earthshaker, and in that case I would really like Earthshaker to be having like at least 2 rage for that first attack on the Kratos table. Okay. The voiceover here, we're gonna see 58.
Approaching a market square, you spot a tall figure clad in the distinctive Spartiades command armor. His confident authority is unmistakable. This is the commander of the camp, E4 Basileos. You draw close enough to eavesdrop as he listens to a subordinate's report. The work continues apace, my lord. The excavation machina works as intended, and supplies of ambrosia from the umbral fields are plentiful. And the Nietzschean's pet? Still resisting, but it will break in time. We will have access to the secrets of the Forge Priest Temple soon. Perhaps it will be more pliable with some added coercion, the E4 muses. Begin executing slaves until it cooperates.
All right, 2 choices. Option 1, the slaves are innocent victims, and you will not allow their lives to be bargaining chips. If revealing yourself as the prize, so be it. Prioritize the slave pens and freeing the Cyclopes. Option 2, your heart goes out to the slaves, but you have a mission to accomplish. You can end this operation for good. There's no telling what artifacts the E4 has already retrieved. Prioritize sabotaging the works. We've lost a couple of humanity from a previous adventure and from the Cyclonus battle. So let's do the good thing. Let's get our diplomacy with the Cyclopes here. Diplomacy, Cyclops. We're almost allied with them. One more. Actually, I just want to see something. If we go, we can go. We can go up to a max of 15. Okay. All right. So we'll do that, and then C001.
Arriving at the slave pens, a tight knot forms in your stomach as you observe the terrible conditions the Cyclopes endure. Their bodies are covered in scars and welts. Many of the giants sit in silence, staring down at powerless, broken hands. Heavy scarring on their shoulders suggests some kind of weighty yoke. All bear shackles that bind their wrists and ankles. Breaking those bonds would be difficult for mortals. You order your titans forward, and the clang of broken chains resounds through the camp. The Spartans mobilize in response, enemy javelineers ascending to the nearby rooftops, and death dealers blotting the sky. One of your titans lets out a tortured roar, blood flowing across bronze skin. It raises an arm to protect itself, to no avail.
We're gonna lose another Titan. Dang. Oh man, we don't have many Dreamwalkers left. You are dead. Each Argonaut tests cunning or wisdom again? Come on. Alright, I guess maybe we'll do the same deal here. Gain 1 rage and 1 danger to add. Oh man. Alright, let's do the same order. I'll gain 1 rage and 1 danger with Olympia. Let's see, what's the failure? Gain as many danger as you have rage, minimum 1. Okay. So she's going to need 9, she'll have +3, so she needs a 6 or higher. That's a 6. Put that there. Actually, what are our success ranges here? Regardless of the result, C004. Again, I don't have any Argo Fates, so I don't really care about getting 4 successes. I would really like to not lose a crew, but also like I can try to use an Argo Fate to avoid that crew loss, right? What's our tech for that? Save. To test diplomacy, we would have +1 with the Helots, I think. Yeah. So we need a 6 around. Okay. So honestly, this is not too bad. All right, let's go back to this. So next we will go with Hypatia. I'm okay with like gaining the 1 rage and 1 rage and 1 danger. Like I don't mind a little bit of rage gain. All right, so we're gonna go blue die here. 8. Is that, so she would have needed 7 or higher. So that is enough for her. So we're at least at the 2 success mark, which again is kind of our best spot here. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the other 2 and just roll them. They'll probably end up gaining a danger. Ooh, yeah, 8 is just, let's see. I'm actually debating, would I have gained a rage and a danger to give them +1 just for the sake of getting the rage? We'll say no, because then I also would have been gaining an extra danger there. Okay, so 2, 3. You go up to 3, you go up to 2. Shoot, maybe the wrong choice, but let's see. As you hold back the enemy, a freed Cyclops busts the door of a nearby armory. Many other delve inside and emerge with an array of tools, scraps of wood, anything they might use to defend themselves. Gain 4 relief resources. And then see 0004.
The enemy closes in, leaving you with only one avenue of retreat. A long road leading up to the mountain looming over the city. At the base of the mountain, a temple is carved into the rock itself, its massive stone doors shattered. You plunge into the darkness, heedless of where it may lead. Inside, vaulted passageways stretch deep underground, tall enough to easily accommodate the Cyclops slaves. Complex murals decorate the walls, sprawling images inlaid with precious metals, showing armored warriors dwarfing their foes, clutching mighty weapons. The Leocules.
Ooh, all right. If K3 is marked C16, let's go to this. Choice matrix, if K3 is not marked. So instead we will see 18.
You split your forces. The Cyclopes flee down one path, while you make a stand in one of the ancient halls. The freed slaves will be safe. Of that much you can be sure. The clash is brutal. The Spartans fighting to reclaim their liberated property, while you fight for the safety of your one-eyed charges. You may not have the numbers, but you have the determination and your titans. When the furor of battle passes, you survey the dead. Simoki and Argo warriors having fallen side by side, comrades to the end. More numerous by far, however, are the corpses of the Spartans. Among the fallen, you find the body of Basileus, slain by a single blow from one of your titans. On his broken body, you find a long iron blade, the edge gleaming with a dark substance.
Lose 1 crew or 1 titan. Normally I would pick titan here for sure, but how many titans are we at right now? We're at 11. Oof. I think I'm actually going to do crew. Losing crew feels dumb, but let's do crew and let's get an Argo Fate to see if we can protect against it. So we need a 6 or higher to succeed here. We could lose a defector to... Nah, I don't think we need to lose a defector yet. That would give us +3 to diplomacy test, but... Alright, 6 or higher. To 10. Nice. Alright, so we don't lose a crew. Then, go back to this. Note, Ambrosia infused sword under the boon section of your Argonaut sheet. This grants you +1 fury. Okay, so we're going to pick a I guess this person would also be the party leader then. I don't think we chose a party leader before, but who do we want this to go to? I mean, probably Leocules, because everybody else is somewhat close to retiring and he's fresh. Yeah, definitely not Olympia. Definitely not Orphan. Yeah, let's give it to Leocules. Ooh, he's gonna have 3 Fury. That's nice. Okay, we're stacking up some good benefits here. Ambrosia infused sword. Let's change this to a colon. All right, so we'll go +1 Fury. Nice. Oh, sorry, I was not showing that. Boom, there we go. We just gave Leocules an extra Fury and noted that down there. Now we'll see paragraph 30.
In the hush that follows the battle, you hear a low rhythmic clanging coming from deeper beneath the mountain. You follow the sound down another mural-lined passage. In the carvings, figures clad in gleaming armor and wearing blood-red sashes go to war against an army of figures just like themselves, girdled belts of deepest blue. Cities burn beneath their feet. Prisoners kneel beneath the blade of a towering figure wearing a crown-like helm. As the images continue, the crowned Leocules lead smaller and smaller numbers, until at last only he remains. He removes his crowned helm, casting it away, and it is only now that you can finally see his face. The noble jawline, powerful cheekbones, and single central eye, a Cyclops. As the puzzle pieces fall into place, realization dawns, or maybe you always knew. The pacifist herders were once the most brutal, expansionist empire of old. You shake your heads. There will be time for that later. You resume your march and soon emerge in an enormous cavern. Statues tower above you, Cyclopes supporting the ceiling upon their shoulders, like Atlas holding up the heavens. Deep pits plunge into the earth around a raised dais, molten rock far below raising the temperature of the air to unbearable levels. Even here, in this place of reverential awe, you see signs of the bloody past the murals told of. Remnants of slave-powered machina can be seen against the chamber walls. Shackles hang from columns ringing the days. Places to hang prisoners, perhaps as a punishment or as a warning. As you look at the massive structure, you can feel the ghosts of history lingering here. A taint that sits heavy on the air.
Okay, if K1 is marked C14, check that. Choice matrix. K1 is not marked. Okay, so then C20.
A Cyclops stands atop the dais, leaning over an enormous anvil. A hammer sits in their grasp, striking a glowing lump of metal. A circlet of iron rests upon their skull, cruel metal hooks affixed into an empty eye socket, and chains wrap around their body, binding them. The giant's eyeless head turns to face you. It seems as though, even in the thundering of this ancient mystical foundry, their ears are supernaturally sharp. "We mean you no harm," you declare. "We're here to help. We are no friends of the Nietzschean or his empire." Sorrow and relief fight on the giant's face as a single bloody tear rolls down their cheek.
If you have none, gain 1 Sisyphus tier. We still have, what, like 5 of them? Yeah, okay. So that does not apply to us. Then we will see 24.
I am Esperos, Hephaestion to my people, the last of my profession.
She declares, and only then do you realize this Cyclops is a woman. Hephaestion?
The Spartans call us forge priests, but we were so much more. We transcribed our people's history in metal, each fold of iron a narrative. An alloy's balance a promise, a blade's temper a threat. Through our craft, the history of the Leocules was recorded.
So you truly were the dreaded empire of legend?
Yes, our empire spanned the known world. In the name of Ares and strength and glory, immeasurable atrocities were inflicted on the innocent.
The giant's head bows wearily.
We murdered mercilessly and indiscriminately. Who we did not kill, we enslaved and turned into cogs or weapons of the Empire.
So, who...
Without enemies from without, we turned our hatred inwards. To Ares' joy, we slaughtered one another for centuries, until the plains ran red. Then we turned heavenwards, and the reprisal was unprecedented.
Esperos shakes her head.
But before that happened, the last king of the Leocules, tired of the bloodshed, made the vow of pacifism and led a handful of his followers into the highlands, renouncing empire.
You look at the giant anvil, where a massive, flat blade lies. It is made of an alloy unlike any you have seen before, an odd pattern running through the metal. Even gazing upon the weapon, you feel pressure push down on your mind. The history locked in the blade screams out to you, long and bloody. Esperos touches the hilt hesitantly.
The E4 forced me to forge this.
She laments.
A subjugator blade. The world has not seen this cruel weapon for an Aeon. It's heavy with the immeasurable weight of the sins of the Leocules.
You realize the immense sword could only be wielded by the most powerful of your titans.
Gain the immeasurable weight sword. So if you're just doing like a playthrough from scratch, like if you're just starting cycle 2 with the base stats, then getting the immeasurable weight is a pretty good weapon. You can get up to 2 black dice and a bonus power from getting 3 hits on it. But if you're continuing a playthrough from cycle 1 and you have some of the cycle 1, like if you have Pyramidion, like Pyramidion is better than this. I would even say Voice of the People is better than this for the most part, because it's a single-handed weapon, and you could get up to, I mean, later in the cycle, this will scale up with power, because you could get up to like, let's say, +2 on the 2-hit value, and you could have up to 6 dice, 6 reds that you're rolling there. And the fact that this is a single-handed weapon, and you can kind of summon it from the Argo. That's a little hard to read there. Let's turn down our exposure a bit. It's a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been that impressed with immeasurable weight. If you like doing things like knocking back and pushing back, let's see, it does knock back too. Yeah, if you like doing forced movement on the Primordial, then this is an interesting weapon because you can ignore the lumbering trait. That's probably the most like notable thing about it. but like I've just never been somebody to prioritize that. So probably not something I'm going to use, but I like the idea of it. Let's read the flavor text on it, because I'm bad at doing that. As heavy as the Leocules' sins through inexorable eons. This looks cool.
My people remember their vow of pacifism,
says Hesperos.
but they do not remember why they swore it. Now, more than ever, they need to remember.
Okay, option 1. The Leocules' vows prevented them from being eradicated, but it has also left them vulnerable to the Nietzschean Empire. Without their strength, you may lose this war and everything will be for naught. Perhaps the narrative of the Leocules being forced into pacifism against their will might loosen their vow. You must be cautious, though, for if the deception is ever discovered, tell the Cyclops a false narrative of what happened to the Leocules. I don't think so. Option 2. The Cyclopes were consumed by death, but have turned away from that path, redeeming themselves through generations of pacifism. They deserve to know the full history of their people, even if it only serves to reinforce their adherence to their vow. Give the Cyclopes a true account of their past. Diplomacy +1, gain 1 doom. Yeah, I've made a lot of decisions already in the story that have reinforced the fact that I am in favor of the Cyclopes continuing their vow of peace, because we've had plenty of other little bits of information to say, like, yeah, they had a history of crazy violence. Let's continue down that path. We're gonna go with option 2 here. So we will now get, not that view. We're going to increase our diplomacy with them so that we are now allied with them. Woohoo! Let's see, C0373. Let's put that on a timeline here so we don't forget. 0373. Then we are going to gain 1 doom. Do I care to try to prevent against this? Let's just take it. We're going to need to flip to that card at some point anyway, so let's just gain our next doom there. And then go back to voiceover. And we need to see paragraph 42.
You cannot doom the Cyclopes to repeating the mistakes of old. You will not hide these lessons, paid for in blood, from those you claim to call your allies. The one-eyed giants may distance themselves from the war, leading to greater costs for your crew. But you are not here just to spill the blood of your enemies. You are fighting a far more dangerous foe than just the Nietzschean. You are fighting his ideology, an ideology that the history of the Leocules directly refutes.
And K1 is not marked, so we'll see 25.
You glance to the shackles that hold Hesperos in place, the bindings so reminiscent of those of a Cyclonus. Many of the chains are fastened directly into her flesh, designed to inflict pain and enforce obedience. You have neither the time nor the knowledge to break these bonds.
Go, Argonauts. More Spartans are doubtless on their way. Flee and take what you have learned here with you.
You know you cannot linger here, but still you hesitate. After what seems like an eternity, you flee the Hephaestion temple. When you return to the Argo, you find the old priest waiting for you, a wise glimmer deep in his eyes. He listens to your tale and nods his head sagely. Tyranny is an alluring snare. difficult to escape, and it always exacts a terrible toll in the end. Beware of falling victim to this fate yourselves, lest in unseating one tyrant, you give rise to another.
All right, so we'll gain an Argo knowledge. There, we'll subtract 2 Argo fate. Boom. And let's see, which one? I was going to put down IO 29 on the timeline here as well. Okay. Return to the voyage phase. All right. So we did our expedition. We don't have an encounter. We don't really have anything for advancement. I don't think I want to craft anything. We were also going to be flipping a Doom card too. There's a lot, but we might end up just only doing things in this day. This video is already at 46 minutes. Okay. Let's see. So let's start with these things and then we'll jump over to the Doom. So C1, so Cycle 1, M14 for our Mnemos breakthrough. Where are we at here? Mnemos breakthrough, Cycle 1, 014.
The memory is more vivid now. You go to the throne room, but he isn't there. Lately, he's never there. He prefers the balcony overlooking the bay, as if that ship will ever come to port. You find him there, as expected. A wine jug all but empty in his limp hand, dark rings under blank eyes, ruddy cheeks, and a grimace of disgust.
Father,
You say as calmly as you can.
Ariadne is missing again.
He doesn't move, doesn't look up.
Father, did you hear what I said? Do you care?
If you're so concerned about your sister, why aren't you out there looking for her?
This comes out of nowhere.
Your brother would never stand for this Theseus nonsense.
I am not my brother.
You bark, more harshly than you intended.
That much is clear.
Now he looks at you. His mad gaze pierces through your soul.
Am I to leave our kingdom in your frail hands one day? Pathetic. I should never have taken you in.
The words strike you like a hammer.
You heard me. You're no child of mine. Be gone.
Ooh, we're gonna gain a Fated Mnemos. Gain the Ikari Fated Mnemos if able, and 1 rage. Oof. So this is gonna be the exact opposite of the Fated Mnemos that our friend Anacreon had for the longest time. You must be the last one to take your turn during the Titan round. So that is extremely limiting. That really stinks. We will almost certainly be retiring her before she gets rid of that because she only needs 1 more node on a familiar curse. Lame. All right, let's put that here. Then what do we have next on our timeline here? 0373. Okay. That is main story, C2 main story, 0373.
There was a time when we could just roam the mountainsides, undisturbed.
Muses Kelmanes, looking towards the crested horizon.
When the little folk left us to our own devices, much to our liking. For mortals were much too warlike for our taste. But the world moves ever forward, and the Cyclopes stayed behind.
His one eye slips to you, and he smiles a gentle smile.
You have shown us there is a different path forward. One not of strength, but of unity. Not of conquest, but of progress. Some of us stopped looking back with regret and started looking forward with promise. We will not cloister ourselves at the edge of the world any longer. Rather, we will share what we have learned in the past to the benefit of all peoples.
So we're going to get the Cyclopean Gear Technology card. The text, our Cyclops allies have provided us with plans for some intricate designs we can repurpose for combat. Here's our Cyclopean Totem. Unique Ambrosia limit +1. When you're about to die from an instant death effect, you can draw an obol instead. Costs 2 fate and a discard. You may treat your danger as 2 higher for the purpose of danger gates abilities on your Cyclopean cards. Cyclopean Knives, unique and masterwork. Masterwork is great on this because it has 4 dice, +1 and max power of 4 red dice. Vault opening 2, full hit gives you precise, so a really good weapon. Danger of 4 or higher, you get opening 3 instead of opening 2. You have the Carver Copus, max power of 2 reds and a black, unique, also masterwork. Carving of 2, I just think carving is a waste of time. Break 1, sacrifice, and then when you sacrifice, you may gain additional +1 danger to place 2 break tokens instead. Ah, okay. So this combined with Cyclopean Totem can be pretty good. Then we have Cyclopean Lenothorax, +1 evasion, unique, masterwork. Oh, I actually forgot. I remember this being a good armor. I forgot this had masterwork on it. Ambrosia limit +1 and combo breaker of 3 or more spaces, and it has second chance on it. So Cyclopean Lenothorax is an amazing armor, just overall outstanding. The weapons are good. We have things that are better right now, although you could argue that you might prefer something like the Carver Copus over instead of Horizon's Edge. Let's see if we just give that a little tilt there. It's a little bit better. Horizon's Edge can be nice because you can get deadly with it and you can potentially be placing 2 opening 2 break. However, if you want a shield, Carver Copus only is one-handed. You can place break tokens with sacrifice. It has masterwork on it. I don't know, you could, I could see an argument to say that you prefer using Carver Copus over Horizon's Edge. But generally I might prefer Horizon's Edge because it also has reach. And the Cyclopean Knives also can be very good. The Cyclopean Totem, I have, obviously this is going to be better if you're choosing to use a bunch of Cyclops gear. But even just the Ambrosia limit +1, that can be incredibly good for certain fights. Like the Chimera, higher level Chimera fights, that's going to be really useful for fights against even the Burden. Definitely the Pursuer if you have the Pursuer, because Ambrosia can still be a problem with the Pursuer. So all this is very good gear. The Cyclopean Lenothorax is something I will be immediately crafting when I have the ability to. Let's put this stuff to the side for now. And then we'll continue down our list of fun things. IO 29. Inwards Odyssey 29. No, 29. Let's see, this one off the bat says, if you don't have any pauldron gear, ignore this adventure, treat it as blank. Once you have any, initiate this adventure at the start of any story phase. Oh, I'm going to have a hard time. Okay, I'm not going to scroll to the bottom. I don't want to spoil that for myself. I'm going to have a hard time remembering that. I'm going to have to figure out a way. Oh, I know. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make a little note and put a little green sticky tab underneath our Argo here. Oh, let's show that. Yeah, so I just put that there. We'll see if I actually remember what that means. The note is not really well written on there, but at least it's something to try to remind us. All right, and then that is it for the story phase. Now we'll go to the Doom phase, and we need to check our Doom card here. This says when there are 5 or more tokens on this card, see 0036. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want. I need to go to main story 0036.
The Argo powers across the waters, its Eolipylian engines churning loudly as the city ship reverberates with energy. You stand within the bridge Tholos, gazing at the route ahead with narrowed eyes. Above you, the skies churn with oily black clouds, a thick and cloying air hanging over the surrounding land. Your ears twitch, picking up a subtle sound, almost lost in the bustle of activity aboard the Argo. A quiet whirring, grinding. You tilt your head and follow the sound to a table, where you bend down to see a box underneath. The clicking and grinding from within it grows louder. As you reach out to touch the wooden cube, it unfolds, the sides falling away to reveal a bronze mechanism. At its heart, an onyx-black crystal glows with a deep inner light. An array of gears spins around it, until suddenly it hitches, and a small hammer attached to the mechanism winds back. A flicker of white flame dances deep within the crystal, and a sense of foreboding takes hold of you. You turn, diving away just as the hammer releases, striking the crystal and shattering it. White energy scorches the bridge Tholos as a tremendous concussive blast rips through the structure. For a moment, the entire facility flexes outwards, then collapses in on itself, walls, pillars, and ceiling, all pulled in toward a central point.
Each Argonaut gains 1 danger, then we will lose 1 hull. Oh man, it's a lot. You're going up to 4 danger. You're going up to 3. You're going up to 3. You're going up to 3. You're going to lose 1 hull. Go to this view. Ooh, do I want to save to protect against this? Yeah, for sure. This would be, what, 3 plus the current hull value, I think, is the save. Gain an Argo Fate. Alright, we need a 6 or higher. 8. Nice. We do not prevent, or we do prevent that hull loss. Back to our story here. Nobody has the Memory of Death Fated Mnemos.
When the chaos fades, you find yourselves trapped among the rubble of what was once the bridge Tholos. Heavy marble pillars have collapsed, bringing entire sections of roof with them. The cries of the wounded echo around you. Not one of the bridge crew spared the carnage. Flames lick at the debris. A figure emerges from the smoking frenzy, wearing the armor of one of the Argos warriors, a sword in their hands. Their features are those of a young man, perhaps 20 years of age. He glances about with little reaction, coldly surveying the devastation. That icy gaze turns toward you, a sneer tugging at his lips as he steps forward, raising his weapon to strike.
Oh, shoot. All right. P4 is definitely marked because that's our scarred veteran. I do remember that one. 37.
Just as the assassin is about to strike, a looming shadow bursts forth from the flames. The man known to you only as the scarred veteran rams into them. The assassin staggers back, clutching at their stricken features. They turn, and what you see sends a shiver down your spine. Their face is wrong. The flesh sits oddly on the cheekbones, the nose is malformed, and the teeth do not line up behind lips that now peel back awkwardly. They snarl fiercely, then turn and bolt, vanishing into the flames. The scarred veteran glowers after them, taking a few steps in pursuit, then pauses. He looks back at you and, with great reluctance, helps you out of the rubble. "They are no mere saboteur," he says, his features growing dim. "He is a metonym, a face changer."
Each Argonaut gains 1 Mnemos node for the Mnemos with the most nodes. Ooh, well, this is gonna at least put the Orphan into retirement. Do this. Where were we gonna go here? Argonauts. That'll be +1 for you. Oh, I want to retcon something. I want to gain an Argo fate, so we could have put earlier in this day during the advancement phase, we can put Leocules' name down on the timeline 7 days from now. I'd put it at 45, so that way we can choose to get a Mnemos node for the Abyss one. Okay. Go back to our Argonauts here, go to Hypatia. And we'll give Cast Off the final one. M029 will go on the timeline for the next day. Oh, wait, no, it's supposed to be C2, not M2. Okay. +1 for a familiar curse. So Olympia, M034C1. Orphan. Wow. Okay, Orphan is going to be retiring as well. M025. Nope, sorry, wrong one. That was Death Precedes, right? Yeah, okay, so C2. Let's make a note. Final. All right. Then C27.
Face-changing operatives of the Nietzschean. They are able to assume the identity of anyone whose face they acquire. How this process works, nobody seems to know for certain.
You feel a knot of worry clench within your gut. From the sound of things, this metonym could appear as anyone, hiding behind the face of a friend or ally, waiting to strike the moment your guard drops. Paranoia gnaws at the edges of your mind. You are certain this is the outcome the Nietzschean desired.
Place 1 progress token on Inward's Odyssey. Okay, done.
And then it hits you. They're still on the ship. And if they can change faces...
We need to lock down the ship immediately.
One of you sputters.
They can be anyone.
The air in the chamber takes on an icy chill as every pair of eyes darts from face to face. Sudden doubts about one-time friends clouding minds and turning hearts to stone.
We need to keep level heads,
The party leader says.
They wish to see us at one another's throats. The Simici have been dealing with incursions from the Nietzschean's agents for far longer than we have.
Volunteers another.
If we approach them, they are sure to be able to help. The people of Laconia see the Argo as an untouchable bastion. If we allow our allies to know we are so easily infiltrated or wounded, how long do you think it will take before they lose faith in us?
Not long, but faith may not be enough to carry you if there are spies in your midst.
Okay, we have a couple options here. Option 1. You've risen to lead this alliance in its time of need, and the people who fight alongside you need to have faith in your ability to protect their interests. The Simici is cunning and will doubtless use this to their advantage. It would be better to keep this an internal matter between the Argo and her crew. Don't involve your allies in the search for this agent, instead relying on your own abilities. Option 2. You have allies for a reason, and it's better to lose face and ask for help than to have an enemy agent destroying you from within. Still, the Simici's aid will undoubtedly carry a hefty price tag. Approach the Simici for help in tracking down the metonym, Simici Diplomacy +1. Well, I think we want to go with option 2, partly because we just had that adventure for the final Omega Hub where we were like criticizing the Simici for lying about how they handled the Nietzschean situation early. So I think it would be pretty hypocritical to go with option 1 here. Let's try to ask for their help and rely on our allies and be open with information. Go here. Simici, get +1 diplomacy, then we'll see 43.
You cannot do this alone. You know that much. The longer you delay in finding this metonym, the more harm they can cause. You order a messenger dispatched to the diaspora fleet, and within the day you have your response. A weathered figure arriving on a small launch. She is a time-beaten woman of some decades, but her eyes glint with a steely light. A spy master? An interrogator? You can't say anything beyond that she seems shrewd beyond measure. The moment she steps aboard the Argo, she issues brusque instructions to your crew. After explaining a few methods that can be used to reveal a metonym, she orders a methodical sweep of the upper decks. Clearly, she has dealt with such a foe before. You hesitate momentarily when she asks probing questions about the Argo, pushing for more and more sensitive information about your home. But in the end, you relent. It is the only way she can effectively carry out the hunt.
So, okay, we're going to, here, we're going to gain a defector. Not 4 defectors, okay, it's good. Might need to start spending some of them. Take advantage of that. And 2 Argo Fate, oof. Very quickly went up to 4 Argo Fate there. Then each Argonaut tests Cunning and Wisdom. I think it's supposed to say Cunning or Wisdom. Gosh, what is up with all these Cunning or Wisdom tests? 0, 2, 0, 0, okay. Let's see, fail, gain a rage. Oh, okay, we do have, quickly show this. We do have different options for if we have 3 to 4 successes versus 0 to 2, like we have different paragraphs there. So I think we really want to try to get at least 3 successes here. Go back to this, and we are going to, let's see, gain a fate. Okay, well, definitely gain a fate with you. Yeah, we're starting with Olympia. She's going to gain a fate, so she's going to have +3 total to this, so she needs a 4 or higher. Reset these to 7. That'll succeed. Then we'll go next with Hypatia. Gain a fate with her. Man, a lot of fate. We need 5 or higher for her, I think, right? We have +2 total. 8. Awesome. Next, let's go with the Orphan. Gain of fate. We're only going to have +1 total with her, so she needs 6 or higher. It's a 9. Woo! And then I'm just going to roll for Leocules. 2, he fails. That's okay. He will get a rage. 1 rage there. Then that brings us to 3 to 4 successes. The Spy Master's aid is invaluable. Her instincts soon putting you on the trail of the metonym. We will see paragraph 39.
The Spy Master, poring through the dozens of maps you have provided to her, suddenly grows excited. Pointing to a blank space in your sketched layouts, she insists that the seemingly empty portion of the ship must contain some kind of as-yet undiscovered complex, and orders a search party. The journey takes you deep into the city ship, until finally you come across what the Spy Master insists must exist. Sure enough, there is a set of bronze doors closing off a large archival structure of some kind, although its true purpose will take time to uncover. Time you cannot spare right at this moment.
Gain 1 Argo knowledge. Go to 30. And that'll bring us to what? IO 30, put that down here.
Inside, you find clear signs of habitation, scraps of food, a makeshift sleeping area, and a sickeningly large collection of face masks, stolen identities of people of the Argo. You feel a rage rise within you at the sight, mirrored by a nausea at the idea of a stranger stealing your identity. The damage such a person could do with all of these stolen personas. The Spy Master wastes no time, ordering your crew to spread out through the complex and lie in wait. Soon enough, a figure comes scuttling into the trap, and your Simicky ally signals to attack. Utterly outnumbered, it takes only a few moments for you to apprehend the spy. The metonym is taken to a holding cell deep within the Argo, a detachment of guards assigned to watch them at all times. Their figure is twisted, with a hunched back and gangly limbs. The thing turns to you, and you are overwhelmed with revulsion. The face is a mass of scars and odd markings, the nose broken repeatedly, eyes mismatched, lips swollen. It is nigh impossible to say whether this creature was once a man or a woman. Overpowering your disgust at the sight, you press on with your interrogation. While the spy is initially resistant, over time you are able to glean a few pieces of information from them.
Gain 1 progress token. Do this. Put it on story card. The story card, we could put it in Inwards Odyssey. I think I want to put it on the story card because we're closing in on that, the location of the Nietzschean, and I think we need to increase the size of our forces. So let's do that.
Later that night, as you are discussing your findings with the rest of your council, a sudden clamor can be heard coming from the direction of the holding cells. You rush to the scene, but it is too late. The metonym got the jump on their guards, stealing the face of one. You order a new search, but reports come of a stolen launch from the trade fleet dock, and you know the spy has slipped away. As you pull into the closest landing point along the canal, you spy the stolen launch abandoned in the shallows. Wet footprints run from the water's edge, up a stone staircase going all the way up to the top of the canal. There, on a large flat plain, is a settlement. Its silhouette is odd, hard to discern in the dim light of dawn. Leaning towers loom on the horizon like giant rib bones. Yet there are no lantern lights, no cooking fires, not a sound from within its boundaries. "This is a trap," the commander of your forces whispers. As you inhabit Titans, you just nod in agreement. You figured as much. That is why you donned the giant bodies that now accompany your scouting team. A sharp whirring noise reaches your ears, like a winch spinning too swiftly. Dark shapes move between the towers, their silhouettes like stooping birds of prey as they swoop from one structure to another. There is a flash of red and white armor, of long and flowing cloaks that spread out like wings, and an odd contraption at their hip. Long lines of rope feed from it, ending in spiked hooks that latch onto the wood of the towers. Thanporos, death dealers, giant killers who honed their blade on Cyclops' necks. Their swords now thirst for Titan blood. You suddenly feel small and outnumbered. "Retreat!" You give the signal to the scouts, but it is too late. Your way back barred by a familiar figure. In the pre-dawn glow, the Nietzschean's chiseled body is that much more impressive. His golden hair and white robes luminous in the dim light. Around him, in countless cages, are slaves, helots, and Simoki prisoners, and even a few of your captured crew members, displayed like trophies.
"At last!"
He clasps his hands together.
"I am glad to see the betrayal I laid for you was not too elaborate."
He pauses and gestures broadly.
"Have you found hatred for me yet? Anger? Are you ready to sacrifice everything to try to bring me down?"
He smiles.
"Because anything less will not do. To challenge the Aeons, to surmount the gods."
He grabs one of the prisoners and smashes their head on the bars of their cage. As their skull cracks, blood splashes forward in copious amounts.
"You preach hope, but you're only giving handouts to the weak,"
he says with disgust.
They gobble up those scraps and become weaker still. Lazy and stupid, needy. And when you're gone, what will they do? Will they find the strength to protect themselves against the primordials, or wait for some saviors on an iron ship? But the ship will never come again, because your mercy has made you weak too.
You look around, frantically searching for a way out.
Ironic, seeing who you are and the vessel you command.
He smiles again, seeing your apprehension reflected in the Titan's postures.
Do you wish to know? Possess this knowledge?
He smiles cruelly.
But knowledge is another kind of power.
As he says those words, Spartan warriors approach the cages, unsheathing their weapons, ready for the slaughter.
And power can only be obtained through sacrifice.
Two options. Option 1. If you learn more about the Argo, you may find a way to stop this monster faster. So it may be wise to listen for a while, though the price of this information may be paid in innocent blood. Play along with the Nietzschean and see what he has to say. Lose one humanity. The Nietzschean's words are designed, this is option 2. The Nietzschean's words are designed to undermine your resolve. Listening to him is like drinking poison. If you don't act, people will die. Refuse to engage in his madness and attack the Nietzschean where he stands. Held's Diplomacy +1, party leader gains the Fused Soul's Grave Trauma card. Well, I know that's in the back of our Grave Trauma deck because I just had that card in the last fight. I mean, definitely option 2, but the penalty for that kind of sucks. So we'll go with option 2. Held's Diplomacy +1. Let's add that really quickly. We are getting up there in our diplomacy values, which is going to make the voice of the people a pretty strong weapon soon. Then the party leader gains the Fused Trauma card. Let's go grab that. Oh, wait, yeah, Fused Soul's Trauma card, right? Yeah. Okay, now who do I want to give this to? Something I just realized I didn't do at the end of the last battle is that this Fused Soul's Trauma card, you're supposed to see the other special event if your Titan lives. I did not do that for Olympia. Not that it really matters, but I'm checking that special event really quickly. Okay. Well, it could affect my decision now because the other special event is positive. While you are junctioning with this Titan, you have +1 precision and ignore the Fused Soul's Trauma card. So I could be risky here, and I could say that Leocules is our party leader. And then, I mean, if we can try to get out of this next fight with the Nietzschean early, then he could get a benefit from. Ooh, need to think about this. Yeah, let's play it risky. The safe option would be giving it to somebody who is about to retire. We could give it to the Orphan since she can technically ignore this Fused Soul's Trauma card, but let's go for the upside here. Let's give it to Leocules. Go back to our voiceover. 52.
No deal. You maneuver around the Nietzschean, interposing yourselves between him and his captives. You'll protect them by any means necessary. The Spartan leader merely shakes his head, clearly disappointed.
Weakness has seeped into your bones and spoiled your spirits.
He hisses.
How are you to race the sun if you're blinded by it?
As he turns to look at you once more, his eyes flash with a deep anger. The resentment of a disappointed father. His voice rises in a deep bellow.
How many more of you do I have to slaughter to make my point clear?
The air around the Nietzschean hisses, a searing wave of power washing over you. A flash of white-hot flame engulfs him, and the gargantuan frame of the monster emerges. Its legs like pillars of black marble, its body wreathed in shimmering red-orange flames. The colossal skull turns to look at you, a terrible howl of challenge escaping from its empty maw.
Gain 1 refugee, then go to the cruel lesson battle and note paragraph 45. All right, let's gain that refugee. That's going to bring our crew down to 3. Oof. Then we got a note paragraph 45. Let's do that in our timeline here, I guess. Just do that. Okay. All right. I will do this battle in this video. I think I'm gonna for my real time. I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna take a break. I'll come back to this in a bit. But I think we have so much going on in the next couple of timeline days because we're about to do this battle with the Nietzschean here. Then we're about to go into the next day. We're about to have multiple Argonauts retire. And then we're potentially going to be facing the Nietzschean again in the next day once we go, once we hit his Spartan stronghold here. So there's a lot going on, but let's do this video. I think what I would like to do is maybe try to continue this video up to the point of our like change in the story card here. So we'll see how that goes. I do have some thoughts, but I will be right back. All right, I am back, and through the magic of the most basic video editing you can possibly do, we have a battle already set up in front of us. Woohoo! Hopefully this battle will not last very long. I've done the Titan loadouts just for the sole purpose of trying to deal 9 power as soon as possible. So we'll be starting off with the fire starter here, who will be using obviously my personal favorite weapon from the cycle, the Temenos Xiphos. I think I've expressed my adoration for it, my love of it, my appreciation of it. It does leave a couple of break tokens in there, so that's kind of the main reason I'm using it. Hopefully we don't full miss with it, but the purpose is that we're just going to try to get as many tokens in the Kratos pool with our fire starter so that we can then do a nice follow-up attack with Game Changer and the Bellerophon. We do have our Logic Breaker over here with some Cycle 1 support equipment, so we're willing to take the extra fate to maybe get an extra breaker opening token for Game Changer's turn, as well as if we need to like move a BP2 down back to a BP1, we can possibly do that. What else? And then our Earthshaker here, Olympia has to go last, so I just kind of threw the Earthshaker on there with the Pyrrhus Clupios in case, like, if Game Changer for some reason maybe can't do it, maybe we can somehow do it with Earthshaker as well. I think I have all the start of battle effects done. But if you see something that I missed, please let me know. I didn't pay too much attention to it, honestly, because we're hopefully be out of this battle quickly. And then we'll be back on to the story. So with that said, I'm doing one last quick scan. Yeah, we got our Ambrosios, we got our start of battle rage, we got our 3 opening tokens from Death Precedes. All right, yep. Cool. Well, I don't see anything wrong. Please tell me in the comments if I did get something wrong, because I'm sure there is. So let's draw our AI 0. I wonder what the Nietzschean could be doing to us. A lot of the weak. Come and I will use my left hand. Arms akimbo, the Nietzschean throws his head back and laughs at you. Me, not you. He's not laughing at you. He probably would like to hang out with you. He thinks you're cool. He doesn't like me. Judge. Though the Nietzschean looks at you with contempt and with a dismissive wave invites you to land the first blow. Gain 1 rage and escalate 1. So let's put this here and let's do our roll. So we'll say lowest number becomes the target of this attack. That is a 7, 6, 7, and a 1. The Orphan is last by a landslide. I was hoping that would go to Hypatia, but unfortunately, no such luck. So the Orphan will gain a rage, and then we will escalate 1. Take out a BP1, put in a BP2. 3, 2, 1. BP1. Take out an AI1, put in an AI2. And 3, 2, 1, AI1. End the primordial round and place this card on this AI discard pile. Never remove it from the bottom of the discard pile, nor shuffle it into the deck. Let it taunt you until you learn your lesson. Yeah, I think this card deserves to stay out and look at me right in the face until I find a way to deal 10 wounds to him, which is not going to be this fight. Hopefully soon. But he has kicked my butt, and so he deserves to just laugh at me. And I'm just going to take it. That's okay. I respect it. I respect the disrespect. But now we are in our Titan round, and let's begin to enact our plan here. Slide this over just a little bit so you can see that full card. All right, we'll go to Firestarter. Activate. See, is there any traits that I'm going to be forgetting here? We don't want to go into the danger zone. No, I think we're good. All right, what else? I do want to use Forced Kratos Reaction to get him a rage, just to give him the ability to leave more tokens in the pool. Then we will walk up and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can just barely make it there. And yeah, we're going to attack with that time well, I can't even think of the phrase. Time something classic. Well, I don't know what I'm thinking of. I hate this weapon. Can't even fake it. All right, let's see. +2. And then we have 3 opening tokens. That's +5 total. So we need a 4 or higher. All right, come on. Is that a 5 or 3? That's a 5. Oh my gosh, if it was a 3, I was just going to continue to grow my disdain for this weapon. Go there. We have nothing for the first ability window. We don't care if we wound this. Oh, I didn't, speaking of hardened, I did not do my roll for the 13th Music Grand Cannon. I am going to do that. I'm going to try to get the shot that can, what's it called? To gain armor piercing. So we need a 6 or higher. That's a 9, so we do get armor piercing. I don't think I want to use it on this card. Apologies, I forgot to do that. The fail effect is gain 1 rage, escalate 1. Actually, I think I do want to use it here. Because if we have to escalate 1, then we're more likely to get BP2s in there, and I think I would like to avoid the BP2s if possible. Oh, and if we wound, yay, okay, I'm absolutely going to use it here. What's the resource we have to spend? 1, oh, just 1 generic primordial resource, okay. Let's go here. My power just flickered out. I think everything is technically still running right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah. I think everything's still running. I hope I'll have to watch this back and hope nothing's wrong, but yeah, flickered off and flickered back on, so hopefully it stays on for now. We will lose a Violent Ambrosia because that counts as a primordial resource. And we will get to ignore Hardened for this right leg BP because we have armor piercing. Yeah, when you reveal a Hardened BP, yeah, okay. Cool. So Firestarter is going to get 2 reds from the Xiphos, 1 red from his own dice, and wow, look at that. That's all we get from this weak weapon. We need 3. We have power reroll 2. We don't have any auto break, right? Just double checking. No, yep, nothing. All right, so we need 3. Oh, all right. Go Mnemos Xiphos. This is the most I've ever enjoyed this weapon ever. So that will wound. We'll gain 3 danger. Okay. To 6 danger. Then during the second ability window, place 2 additional break tokens in the Kratos pool. All right. That will come in handy. So come out, go back to our battle here. We will shuffle in a BP2. 3, 2, oh gosh, no. 3, 2, 1. BP2, okay, well, we can try to use, it's not that it really matters because we just need to deal the power. It's not necessarily about wounding, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. So let's get rid of the AI1, put the AI2 in. 3, 2, 1. Oh gosh. Oh, that just fell into my table. I don't know if you saw that. No, dang, it's just out of frame. I have like, in the edge of my table though, I have like little slots that these cards can really just barely sometimes fall into, but that was funny. 3, 2, 1. I guess, yeah, AI1 is on top. All right, go back to this. Clear these out. We will get 2 additional, why did I put that in the fail? That goes in our wound stack. 2 additional break tokens. Then we will leave break 2 from the Mnemos Xiphos. We will leave, let's see, did not increase our rage from attacking. We should be at 3 rage. So we should leave 2 opening and 2 fire. 2 opening, 2 fire. And I think that's it. And that's a pretty nice looking pool right there. Then I think now, like in case we don't deal this damage with Game Changer, I'll save Logic Breaker and his support. I'm just gonna go now with Game Changer because I think the pool is looking good enough, except I'll use the Arrow Barrage for opening tokens here. Oh geez, sure. We get 2 opening tokens, so we now have 4 opening. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there anything else we want to do here? I don't think so. We're going to attack with the Bellerophon. We're going to use the ability on it and gain a fate. And so we have Overbreak 1 and, oh, I forgot this actually gives armor piercing. So yeah, it's a good thing I used the armor piercing for Firestarter's BP. So I'll just be attacking this BP2. That's okay. We're going to get 3 dice. We have +0 from the weapon. We're going to have +5, I think, total. You know what? Actually, I'm going to maximize my chances here. We're going to do a quick interjection. We'll have gone with Orphan first. We're going to gain 2 fate to use this Analyticos module because it is a C1 item. And we're going to put an extra opening token in there. And I just won't attack with them. Then I will use my combat action to get that stuff back. I don't think I want to move anywhere either. That's fine. Now we'll go back to our Game Changer here. So now we should have +6 total, which means we only need 3 or higher. I think it's a big difference if we miss with 1. Did I bring the, oh darn. Oh, actually that wouldn't have mattered. It's only if you're attacking from a VP. All right, so we're gonna have these 3 dice. We need 3 or higher to hit. This is cocked. I promise you. I'm not just trying to reroll a 1 for free. It was cocked. 9! Woohoo! All right, so that is a 9, an 8, and an 8. That is 3 hits. Beautiful, beautiful. We don't get any auto tokens here, correct? No. So we're gonna get 2 black and a white from the Bellerophon. Then we will get a black from Game Changer. Then we will use Death Follows to get a red. Oh, it also did. Why am I forgetting to increase my rage? And we are going to use Trireme Ballista Fire so we can get. I think I can actually do this once, only if I need the power reroll one. So I guess I'll save that. Performing. It says performing a power roll, so I guess it can be in the middle of performing one. But we need a total of 9 power. I think we can do this. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Do a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just from the power symbols, and then we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's plenty of potential symbols for our break and fire. So we deal 9 or more power. And let's just make sure, let's actually read the things unlike me in the first battle against him. We have 2 boxes. Your attack that deals 9 total power. After this happens, you may proceed to Aftermath. Show me your power. I didn't even draw the BP card. What is wrong with me? Should I just count this as a miss? Because I just, what, like I swung between his legs and like fishtailed him between his legs or something? Oh my gosh. Yeah, can you believe I've done a full playthrough of this game, I've done the Mnesis Theater, and yet I'm doing a power roll without even drawing a BP card. Oh my gosh. All right, well, whatever it is, I think we probably wounded it. Oh, dang, it would have been nice to crit on that. Get the Fume Blade card. I do love me some crit gear. I don't remember if that's good. I think it's good. I think we probably, I don't know. We have really good weapons right now, so not a big deal. But let's go into our wound stack. Victory, show me your power. Then, let's see, a fleeting dream, least likely Argonaut gains 1 Mnemos node. Go to our Argonauts tab here. Ooh, we're already updating Death Follows here. I don't want to lose this one. I need to aggressively get nodes for Spewed by the Abyss, I think. I really don't want to retire Death Follows. Then see rewards and penalties below. We only dealt 2 wounds. So let's see, we're going to reset Triskelions. I will do that in a second as I clean up the battle. We will reduce our Argo Fate by 3. We will gain resources here. We're only going to get 2 Violent Ambrosia, and then what are those other 2? I don't remember their names. 2. And what is that? 1 Living Abyss, 1 Skin of Malice. All right. Then the battle was not lost, so we can skip that. Nietzschean sighting, nope. Death would be a release, nope. Story continues. See the noted paragraph. Okay, give me 1 second and I'll get our story going here. Let's check our timeline. It was paragraph 45.
As before, the Nietzschean is merely toying with you, or as he sees it, administering a lesson. Once he thinks you have had enough, he simply leaves you to pick up the pieces.
And we get to read this Doom card. Where we going? Side 2A. Doom card.
The Nietzschean knows much about the Argo, too much to blame it on the secrets gleaned by his spies. But that knowledge is stained with blood, and obtaining it may carry too high a price. As the war continues and atrocities escalate, the great river works run red and black, whipping the gargantuan Chimeras Metastasios into a frenzy. Their lumberous hulks have been seen moving north, along the Ambrosia pipelines like stone glaciers. They're heading toward the Temple of Man, but to what end, nobody knows. An ill fate is marshalling, Argonauts. Tread carefully and tend to your humanity, for you are dancing above the abyss.
All right, I grabbed the exploration cards already. What else do we need to do here? Immediately add the Crypteia, Assassination Attempt, and Moral Erosion exploration cards. Here's what those look like. To the exploration deck, carefully open envelope N into... Oh, I remember this being silly when you're playing solo. This is... Okay, I guess I'll do this in a second. If you're playing with less than 4 players, return the corresponding number of cards back to envelope N, starting from the top card, then shuffle the remaining cards and deal 1 to each player. These cards are secret. Do not show your card to the other players or discuss its contents. While this is in play, each time you battle a Chimera Metastasios, gain 1 unavoidable doom. Ah! Okay, well, I'm glad I did the Chimera fights early. I mean, I'll still have to fight him again at some point, but it's better than like going through that now. When there are 5 or more tokens on this card, flip to the side 2B. Place excess Doom tokens on side 2B. All right, how bad are these cards? Wow, I really want to lose Crypteia Assassination. It's a shame I used the technology already that removes a sabotage card from the deck. Dang. I wonder how I'll be able to get rid of that again. Okay. And then Moral Erosion. Gain 1 or more doom, or gain 1 doom, or lose 1 humanity. Oof. Oof. Okay. I'll shuffle those in while I am doing the, what's it called? Battle cleanup between scenes here, but I need to get envelope N, I think. I have the cards here. Let's see. Let me move this out of the way because I think we're going to need to show some other stuff on camera. Here's our 4 cards that were from envelope N. Carefully open, take the cards out without looking or shuffling. Well, I'm going to shuffle them because I think it'll be more fun to see which one we draw. And I don't know if I put them back in the right order. I don't know if that's actually going to matter, but we're going to find out. I'm sure I'll be thoroughly confused when this comes up anyway, because I think doing this solo is kind of silly, but whatever. All right, we're gonna just shuffle them, because otherwise I'm gonna look at all of them and put them back in the right order, and then I'm gonna have seen all of them, and I forget what these cards are, what's on them. I have a kind of an idea, but I forget. Okay. If you're playing with less than 4, return the corresponding number of cards back to envelope N, starting from the top card. Okay, so we will put 1, 2, 3 back into envelope N, and that means that this is our card. Oh, that we probably need the booster seat back. Booster seat incoming. The Crypteia assassins have infiltrated your ranks. You are loyal to the Argo, but the evidence suggests there is a spy among you. posing as an Argonaut. Their instructions are printed on the loyalty card that they were dealt. Observe your fellow players carefully, looking for any signs of treachery. At a later point, you will be asked to vote which of you is an imposter. Dang, this would be so much more fun with more than one player. Because I think, I don't want to spoil anything. I won't spoil anything. I don't remember everything about this, but I think I remember enough. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a way that we could do this, but I don't think there's really a way that makes sense for this. Whatever. All right, so this is our card. I'm just going to throw this back here. And then I will, I'm going to clean up some of this fight, be right back. And, oh, actually, before we do that, let's look for any end of battle effects, because I constantly forget those. Fuse souls. If this Titan lives, resolve the other special event. I think that was a C1 special event.
That last hit to the Anti-Kratos helm broke something. Some failsafe that kept the Titan's violent bestial psyche at bay. Now, the dam is broken, and all that hate and rage and violence pours into you, mixing with you. You are swept away. If your Titan had died back there, on the battlefield, that would have been it. Not even the great philosophers of the last academy could have brought you back from a failed junction. But it lived, and you lived with it. And something happens. That vicious tide of wrath and loathing you feared would sweep you away. It does not come. All you feel is a tinge of sadness, of loneliness. Before you are able to truly understand what is happening, the Balaneon sages pull you out. You were in free fall, they say, almost beyond the point of no return, where your soul would drift for all eternity. You feel loss, as if a part of you truly stayed there, in the junction. When you later visit the Titan Stoa, you recognize the Titan you fused with, and it recognizes you somehow. Something was born that day, something deeper than a mere Triskelion junction.
Name the Titan you were junctioning with and note it on your Titan sheet, or Argonaut sheet. While you are junctioning with that Titan, you have +1 precision and ignore the Fused Souls trauma card. Okay, so it's specifically when you're junctioning with that Titan that you ignore the Fused Souls. So that gives me some incentive to keep Leocules paired with Game Changer, although we'll see. All right, let's note that down. Argonaut. Oh, we'll go to this screen. No, timeline, Argonauts. Leocules. And what do we have here? What do we want to name him? All right, I've got a name. I've got one. Let's see. When junctioned with Pyrosmos, yes, I copy and pasted that spelling. It's like ancient Greek for temptation or trial, which I think is kind of fitting because the whole process of fighting the pursuer and trying to kill him in cycle 1 was just like, I felt like tempting fate and a trial in itself, but then also just putting Fused Souls on Leocules, our quote-unquote youngest Argonaut, just so we could get this benefit. It feels like a fitting name. +1 precision. And wizard and ignore fused souls. Copy with the capitalized P. Titans, where's our game changer at? Congratulations, you have a name. Cool. All right, I am going to do some cleanup here. So I will be back and we'll be going into our adventuring. I think we're finally done with day 38. We'll jump into day 39 where a lot of stuff is going to be happening with retirements, etc. And then we will also be going into hopefully wrapping up our story card number 2. All right, I will be right back. We are back once again. I think I have everything set up and cleaned up here. All my Triskelion stats are reset. We already did the Argo Fate. Cool. All right. I think we are ready to move on. Let me double check the Argo Fate. I'm pretty sure I did that. Yes. Yes, I did. Okay. All right, so day 39, here we come. We're gonna go north to go onto the beta side of this tile here. Check off our day 39. And we will just go straight into the exploration. I do have a technology. I guess I could try to like get another progress token off of this card. What does that cost me? I think it's probably just like gain an Argo Fate, maybe? Give me 1 second. Okay, I found it. No, it's just a, it is a tech that we have not researched yet. So nothing we get to do here. So we'll move on to our exploration cards. I don't think I've done those yet. It took me a minute to go look this thing up, but okay. Here we go. Untamed Titan. Gain 1 Titan. We do need some Titans. Gain a Titan. Awesome. And then we should be friendly with everybody. I think we're almost allied with everybody too, right? Yeah, this is a Helots. Oh no, this is a Simicky tile. Oh, I keep getting the Simicky and the Helot symbol confused. Whoops. This is a Simicky tile though. We get +1. No, we're friendly with them. Okay, so we get 1 rage. Who would I want to give this to? Not Olympia, not Orphan, because they're both retiring. I'm gonna give it to Leocules for now, but I reserve the right to change that because as we go into the advancement step for this day, I do want to rethink my whole. I think it seems pretty obvious we're going to be getting into a fight soon with the Nietzschean again, because we're about to try to ambush him at his fortress. I don't know how that fight is going to go, but I want to prepare for, now that we have some of our, what's it called? Our Triskelions reset for the most part. I am going to try to make another run at getting the end. So I reserve the right to move this rage to this, to Hypatia if, because I'm going to change my whole loadout and everything going into this advancement step. I'm going to be crafting things. Anyway, let's just do it. Too much explanation. I'm going to be going into this now. We did exploration. Okay, continue on with this. Boom, need this back. Gain 1 doom. Oh, this is our, oh, we just added this in. Gain 1 doom or lose 1 humanity. Oh, we need to switch over to Doom card 2A. Actually, here, I'll do this. I'll gain a Doom. Or no, I'm going to choose to gain a Doom, but then I'm going to try to save against it with an Argo Fate. So let's gain that Argo Fate. Move this out of the way really quickly. And we need always forget what this is. Hope logic, I know that. Is it 9 minus the current Doom card? I use this one all the time. Yes, 9 minus the current Doom card. It's like, I think I have it right, but then because I'm on camera, it's like, okay, well, I want to double check myself to make sure that I have it right. So we need 7 or higher on this to avoid that Doom gain. That's an 8. Is that cocked at all? No, it's flat. Okay. As an 8. We will not gain that Doom. Nice. Do we have... Oh, shoot. We have 5 refugees. We are going to gain a 3rd Argo Fate. That's probably okay. We can remove that until the next timeline battle. Draw another card. Okay, this will end the stack. Okay, well, there goes the Titan we just got. For War Trireme, lose a Titan. Titans. Dead. Okay, that ends that pile. Next pile. We're gonna get 4 War Trireme resources. We're actually getting a benefit from having refugees. Not really happened much to me. And then adversary activation. I guess we can go to this page. Go there, just 1 symbol, right? Yes. All right, so then these will all get shuffled back into our exploration deck. Okay. Then we'll move this out of the way. And actually, probably could have left that up because I think we're just going to be going into the advancement step. All right, yeah, I'm going to put that back. So we're going to need that pretty soon again anyway for the next exploration step. So I'm going to take some time, and I guess I could do it on the next day. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll just wait until the next day to craft before we're about to go into everything. That's fine, because we're going to have to do that stuff on... Maybe we'll get something from any of these. I mean, probably not from the retirements, but maybe from the Inwards Odyssey. All right. So I'm committing to having that 1 rage on Leocules. And we're going to skip it. Oh, research combat. Okay. Okay. All right, I feel like I've just been out of it the last couple times I've been playing this. Projects, combat. Ooh, forced Kratos cooldown could be great. Ignore this gain. Choose a Titan. The Titan loses 1 rage. Oh, I forgot it was multi-use. Burden sighting. I mean, these are good items, but I don't need... If I'm just trying to make a run at the end, I don't think these are going to help me that much. And then we could also do metal weapons. I don't think those are going to be helpful for me right now. Forced Kratos cooldown it is. That is going to be just universally good to have. And that'll finally unlock Cyclops sighting for us. Okay. Where is that at? Let me go find it really quickly. There we go. Forced Kratos cooldown, new Argo ability. Pretty good. Be helpful for Nietzschean and for Cyclops. I'm going to put this off to the side now. That'll be part of me changing my loadout, but I'm sure I'll be using that. Then we're going to be jumping into the story stuff where we're going to have a lot of things to read. Okay, so let's do that. We have, who does M29 belong to? That is, did I write down the wrong number? It should be M34 and M25. M34. Oh, I just wrote down final for the wrong person. Okay. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. So let's do M029. Who is that for? I'm pretty sure that's wrong too. I think, should that be M19? Because I think that's supposed to be for Hypatia. My gosh, I did a lot of things wrong. Yeah, M19. Then we're going to double check this and just make sure I got things right here. We have M19, M34, M25. Oh, we should have done also M31 as well. Oh my gosh, we have so many things to read. Okay. That is Death Follows. C1, M0, 31. All right, M31, check. M19, check. M14, I think we did yesterday. M34, we were doing now. Oh, I forgot I can check these off too. M19, or no, M14 we did yesterday. M34 we're doing today. Okay. And M25. All right, I think we're good. I think I have everything corrected here. So let's jump into, let's do these, let's do the retiring ones last. Actually, you know what, this is, because there's going to be so many of them. I'm going to skip, I'm going to skim and read through personally the ones that are not retired yet. Just the evolution. Do I want to do this? Yeah, for the ones that aren't retiring yet, I'm just going to look through the Mnemos breakthrough. Then I will just do the effects to make sure we're accounting for all the effects from these Mnemoses. And then we'll actually go through and do the 2 Argonauts who are potentially retiring here, because for each of those ones, we're going to be doing 3 readings. These can be like a couple minutes long each. I don't want to spend the next 30 minutes just listening to this. So, and I do like doing the back-to-back-to-back for the retiring ones. We just happen to have a bunch of Mnemos stuff happening on one day. So let's do, let me look at these 2 that are not retiring first. Okay, so for Leocules with Death Follows, he is going to have, I'm going to use a generic token with a little reminder on it. He is going to, the first time he is going to draw a major or worse trauma card, he's going to force another random Titan to draw it instead. So could be good if we want to make him the heavy hitter. Then for Hypatia with the cast-off Mnemos breakthrough, she can turn 1 refugee into 1 crew. That's really nice. Let's go do that. I'm going to lose 1 refugee, and then we'll gain a crew. Now we will jump over to doing the, let's do it for Olympia first. We need the voiceover here. And this is for a familiar curse. Mnemos breakthroughs. This is a C1 Mnemos. First we're going to do M032. If anybody is watching through these, I am curious. I would like to hear how I'm doing the Mnemoses, because I don't know, maybe I should just not, we shouldn't read through them as they come up. Instead, we'll just do like, only do them when they retire and we go through all 3, because otherwise we're going to get some duplicates. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on how I want to do this, but for now, let's stick with this. Here is the first breakthrough for Olympia's A Familiar Curse.
The dream is more vivid now. You sit in a meadow surrounded by tall trees. The wind rustles through the leaves and you can feel the wet morning dew through your clothes. A rabbit hops through the grass on your right. Butterflies flutter from one flower to the other. As you look up at the sky, all you can see is blue, not a single cloud in sight. And yet, something feels utterly wrong. You cannot shake this feeling. It gnaws at your chest, coiling around your lungs like an iron snake, suffocating. You can feel an evil hand ghosting over your skin, making the hair on your arms stand on end. Someone is watching, or something. You can feel its burning gaze on the back of your neck, drilling a hole through your skin. Sweat starts forming on your brow. When it becomes too unbearable, you stand, only to stagger toward the edge of the meadow. But you find no shelter in the shade. You take step after step, getting away as fast as your legs can carry you, but you are still followed. Once you escape the forest, the uneasiness subsides, but the iron grip around your lungs remains. Aftershocks of your anxiety, you rationalize. This isn't a curse. It's just a bad feeling. It will pass.
Then we will go to 043.
The memory is more vivid now. The sun is hidden by thick clouds in the sky, and a small breeze has picked up. Yet you shiver, hot sweat rolling down your back. It's been getting worse and worse. Each day, you force yourself to get up, to ignore all the warning signs, to go through the day until you can collapse for several hours of restless sleep. You keep walking under the sheltered sky, bones heavy and mind adrift, forcing your eyes to lock onto your destination, a temple on a hill. You wonder why the Are are after you. This has to be some sort of punishment. Somehow you had angered the gods, but you have always been very dutiful. You have prayed and prostrated to no avail. No one has listened. You have started to believe you deserve it. There must have been something you have done, something so vile you would be cursed. You think about all the people you have crossed. Nothing comes to mind, and yet everything becomes a source of worry. You traveled to the Temple of Hygeia in Corinth to seek help. But when you arrive, you are met with a long line of petitioners, each and every one sick or dying. Some have come with gifts, often their life's fortune, everything for a chance at the goddess's favor. As you spend time among the dependents and the destitute, listening to their stories, it dawns on you. None of them are guilty. None of them deserve this. An anger grows in you. You begin to see. A voice from below a nearby awning draws you in. Do you have the courage to understand? The truth. You can almost grasp it now. One by one, parts of your body rebel against you, like puppets taken over by an evil master. Your muscles first, twitching during spells of weakness, refusing to cooperate when needed. Then come the moments of absence. 1 minute you are doing something, the next you shudder as if woken from a nightmare and notice the sun has moved in the sky. The shade doesn't make it better. Then come the dull aches deep within your body, echoes of something terribly wrong.
You are dying,
The strange woman in the Corinth back alley said.
and you can't do anything about it.
At first, you refused to accept this. Your story cannot end this way. There is still so much to do, and yet, with the dull aches that tear your insides apart, comes clarity. You are dying. Could you have prevented it if you have acted earlier? Deep down, you know it wouldn't have changed anything. You do not deserve this, but the world doesn't care. You cannot change what is happening. You can only decide what to do with the time you have left. Will you dwell on your fate or make something of it?
So now we have two options. Option 1, you only have so much time left. You won't let denial rob you of it, or let charlatans take it from you piecemeal. You need to accept there are things outside of your control and take a step forward. You accept death will come someday and enjoy the rest of your life in peace, away from all this fighting. Option 2, no. There's nothing wrong with you. There never was. It was just a curse, a god you crossed. If you pray more, repent more, surely it will go away. You will live a half-life of false promises and meaningless struggles. Well, option 2 sounds really tempting. But no, we're going to go with option 1. Let's let Olympia retire. So we will mark L11. Choice matrix here. L11. Boom. And we will gain 1 Argo knowledge and retire our Argonaut and then activate a new one. We'll save the activation until after we retire the Orphan as well, just to do it back to back. Where was I going here? Argo knowledge. Oh, I didn't even put down in the choice matrix the note. This is Olympia. Olympia retires, accepting that death will come soon, and she wants to live in peace. Now let's jump over to the Orphan. We need cycle 2 M25. Started playing the wrong one, so I edited that out. Here is the correct paragraph. First, the first breakthrough for death precedes for the Orphan.
The dream is more vivid now. Blood, releasing hot steam into the frigid air, drips from the tip of your blade. Where it lands on the earth, the fat droplets spatter in the dust, mingling to create a thick, sticky ooze. The metallic stench is heavy, clinging to the insides of your nostrils and throat. Primal, animal, raw. Finally, slowly, your mind stills, your pulse drops, and your breathing stabilizes. Last of all is the return of your vision, the red film of carnage lifting from your eyes as you look about. seeing your surroundings for the first time in what feels like decades, but can only have been a scant few moments. Bodies lie around you, exhibiting varying degrees of mutilation. Some sport jagged gashes across their bellies, innards spilling out onto the earth in a tide of gore. Still more have been run through, a blade piercing them from front to back with grim ease. None who stood against you has survived. A cheer of victory rises from all around. Your comrades have beaten back the enemy, granting your unit a reprieve. They approach, growing a little more somber as they notice the crimson that stains your face, hands, and armor. Their jubilation is tainted by apprehension as they take in exactly what your wrath, your relentless will to survive, your brutal skill have achieved. You hold your head high. You are not ashamed of doing what needs to be done to survive. In this world, the law of the blade is king over all, and only those who are willing to fight to their very limits will thrive. Your rage, your fiery berserker temperament, has served you well in the past, much as it has served you well today. You feel happy. From among the soldiers of your unit, your best friend, Formion, emerges, congratulating you on such a high tally of kills. Together, you march from the battlefield, putting aside the painful protests of your muscles and joints. You need a drink. The memory is more vivid now. Enemies close in, fists clenched as they snarl threats and glower at you, their intention clear. You lose count of how many there are. As the red mist begins to cloud your vision, it really matters not. You slip into the flow, the animalistic drive of survival and dominance pushing you, guiding your hand as you lash out at any and all who dare approach. Fists connect with flesh and bone, meaty smacks and hollow snappings singing a song of violence and glory. You feel a flood of warmth in your mouth as your gnashing teeth split your tongue. Barely a thought is given as you hurl yourself wholly into the bloodshed. It is an old, familiar dance, a series of steps you know by instinct and will retrace without hesitation. Finally, the last one falls, and you stand victorious, the wind whipping at you as it carries the scent of the dead. You raise your head to the skies, feeling the swell of triumph in your muscles as your pulse slows. The veil of blood falls away, until you realize that you do not stand over a battlefield, but in a taverna. Destroyed chairs and tables interspersed with comatose patrons and more than a few cooling carcasses. Those alive and conscious stare at you in horror, abject fear and revulsion in their faces. You can already hear the distant sounds of the city guard approaching. Formion's features twist in a horrified expression, his eyes hollow as he looks at you. "Those damn fools," you curse. If only they'd had the sense to back down and submit instead of picking a fight. You had to respond, to show them their place, their weakness, right? Right? The truth, you can almost grasp it now. You went too far today. Someone, barely more than a boy, got in your way, sparked an outburst of rage from you. One thing led to another, escalated. Your companions wanted to talk you down, but it only enraged you further. Even they dared challenge you. Fury has possessed you. The brawl was a brutal one, and you know you left some of your friends with wounds that will last for more than a few seasons. Injuries both physical and mental. And now, Formion, gods, what have you done? There were always stories shared around campfires of soldiers who couldn't leave the war behind after they came home and lived in a state of constant danger, always on a knife's edge. Is that you? No. Nonsense. You've always had good reason for your actions, always had a justification. People wanted to push you around, mock you, undermine you. They just didn't understand. People just... You release a sigh. There is no running from the truth anymore. No more deluding yourself. You needed this struggle. Without it, you felt like empty, unworthy, unhappy. And now, one of your oldest friends has paid the ultimate price. It is said that the wisest of warriors rarely draw their blades, that they have studied the ways of stillness and calm, seeking solace to perfect their bodies and minds. Perhaps you should seek it out too. Learn to control your fury, somewhere far away from the people you could hurt. That is, if you are ready to let the rage go.
We have two options now. Option 1. Fury without restraint will only reap pain in the long run. You have a chance to step aside from this pain and find your center. Once your mind has been tempered, your wrath harnessed, you will become a better warrior for it, nay, a better person, and perhaps find a sort of peace. Option 2. This wrath, this primal fire within you has kept you alive so far. You're not ready to part with it yet. Not while it continues to serve you. You need it to defeat this challenge ahead of the Argo. You will live the risks of fury for now. Option 2 is kind of tempting for the Orphan because I do really like this combination of Death Precedes and A Night to Remember. And I really hate to lose the Death Precedes Mnemos. But we would have to draw a Kratos card at the start of every battle. That's not good. So we will let the Orphan retire. These are not coming at great times when I'm trying to take on the Nietzschean. All right, so let's go and mark D12. D12, is that right? Yeah, okay. The Orphan retired to try to find inner peace and calm her fury. Mark D12, gain 1 Argo knowledge. We're going to have a bunch of Argo passage or inwards Odysseys to read. Gain an Argo knowledge. Mark IO 32. I'm not even showing this. IO 32. On our timeline there. retire your Argonaut, and then activate a new Argonaut. Do this retirement, and then we'll, yeah, I'm changing the order of some things here just for the sake of like trying to make the video a little bit more, I don't know, in an order that seems nice. So Death Precedes gets retired, a familiar curse gets retired. We say goodbye to Olympia and the Orphan, and I will go draw some new cards, and then we will draw cards for choosing our Mnemos. Move this as well. Oh, also I need to make sure that we note that she had that faded Mnemos before we mark her as retired in here. Cycle 1, Ikari. And ooh, okay, that didn't, I don't think that hurt me. I was referencing her stats without that faded Mnemo, so, but I think it was all cunning and wisdom checks we did before. Okay. So we'll mark her as retired now. Retired, boom. And then this is Olympia, or this is the Orphan, yeah. Her is retired. Then we need to draw a couple of new Argonauts. All right. We will first draw, shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Boom. Otis 0 is our new green Argonaut. So Otis 0 was the last to wake up of the original 4. He's impulsive, nonchalant, and overly brave, or stupid. Many call him the Never Captain, for he wanted to lead the Argonauts only for that honor to fall to Stersigard. Lately, Otis 0 sleeps uneasily. Terrible dreams haunt him, visions of the 0-point entity and its arrival in the skies above Alexandria, the blinding flash that sears the disappearing city skyline deep into his retinas. Those dreams are becoming more intense. A voice accompanies them now. It whispers, "Follow the light of Pharos." All right. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, what I like to do for my Mnemos Vault cards is I like to draw 2 and then pick 1 for them, just because I like having some choice in the game. We're going to draw our first one will be, boom, Minoan Heritage again. Okay. All right, and then the second one, boom. Ooh, we're getting the 2 ones that we put back in the vault. I mean, out of the 2 of these, I would love to keep using A Night to Remember. Minoan Heritage is good, but I'm definitely going to choose A Night to Remember here. Put that there. So we now have Otis 0 as our newest Argonaut. We'll take this back, put it back in our Mnemos Vault. And first let's shuffle the cards here for the Argonauts. Boom. We have Dastan. Dastan? Dastan. Since the first moment he awoke in the mausoleum, Dastan has felt a compulsion to look upward, to dream skyward. His sleeping thoughts swell with visions of reaching into the heavens and beyond. In a world where mortals war over resources and land, perhaps out there, in the great reaches, past the clouds, there might be enough for everyone. A dreamer. All right, welcome aboard, Dastan. Put you there. And then let's draw a couple of Mnemoses for you. Boom. Option 1 is Left for Dead. Option 2 is A Broken Promise. I think of these two, I'm going to pick Left 4 Dead. I do like the level 1 ability of A Broken Promise, but like Left 4 Dead may come in handy less frequently, but when it does come in handy, oh, those weren't showing all the way. When it does come in handy, I think I'm going to enjoy having Left 4 Dead more than A Broken Promise. So we'll take that. Oh, I need to put my little colored tabs on here. These new Mnemos cards. Let's do the ones for Odyssey 0. Okay. And then for Dastan. Dastan? I don't know. Okay. This will go back in the Mnemos vault. And I can put some of these little tokens away. Okay. I also just paused it here so I could create our new Argonauts in our app. Now we can go on and read. We have 3 Inwards Odysseys to read. As soon as we craft a pauldron, we'll have a 4th. I don't even think we can. Could we have crafted a pauldron today? Do I have any pauldrons I can craft? Nope. No, I do not. Let's go here. Inwards Odyssey. First one is we're going to be doing 30, 31, and 32.
The archaeolinguistics division of the last academy has certainly grown from its humble beginnings on Crete. Whole teams are devoted to deciphering the many lost languages of Hellas. One of those teams, the one delving into the mysteries of the once great Leocules empire of contemporary Sparta, has reached a surprising breakthrough. In the last tome, they have found documents written in a version of Olympian that are a third-party account of a prolonged crisis on the Leocules border, dated close to the collapse event that marks the end of their civilization. The crisis faced by the Leocules was not unlike the one you're dealing with right now. Groups of refugees from a place called Hyperborea had encroached on the empire's northern border, their migration supposedly spurred by some religious schism or war in the far north. The Leocules' response was swift and merciless. Any trespasser found inside its borders was forced into slave labor or killed on sight. There is evidence of at least 2 labor camps and a mass execution site established solely to deal with the sudden influx of outsiders. It's hinted that these Hyperborean refugees, sometimes referred to as the Shade People in the text, contributed greatly to the late technological progress of the Leocules Empire. Yet neither the Machina advancements nor the decisive resolution of the refugee crisis averted the nigh and sudden collapse of the prosperous empire. What really happened?
I do not believe in God's justice,
says the old priest when you discuss the subject on one of the sleepless nights.
but I believe any state or organization can crumble under the sum of its accumulated sins. Live by the sword and all that. It's a shame the Spartans haven't learned the Leocules lesson.
We will gain the Blade Nymph summoning card, and if you have any sword with the Leocules trait, you may remove it from the game. If you do, Cyclops Diplomacy +2 or Simic Diplomacy +1. So here we have our Blade Nymph. And the effects are, let's see, requirements. At least one Titan has died or drawn an obol. Spend one summon charge to summon the Blade Nymph, then activate the adversary. Assign this card and the Blade Nymph token to a Titan. As long as you have this card, you have +1 power. Before each power roll, you must say if you will wound the primordial or not. If you waver, discard this card and your weapon. If you're sure and then you do not wound, discard this card and permanently lose your weapon, and then draw an obol. Start of your turn, discard the Blade Nymph token. If you cannot, discard this card instead. So, yeah, pretty high cost for having one power. I mean, one power is good, but yeah, I don't really feel strongly about that one. Whatever. Let's see. Then if we have a sword with the Leocules trait. The only one we have is immeasurable weight. And I'm not going to sacrifice it for diplomacy. I don't think we'll need that diplomacy in the long run. And there might be things that we can use to we might need immeasurable weight to craft something. I don't remember. Oh, it is a reward from a hub, so maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to sacrifice it just to get diplomacy. Let's go to the next Inwards Odyssey.
In a dead-end tributary of Eurotas, one that was not included in the Spartan Great River Works infrastructure project, you find a sheltered industrial complex, an ambrosia drilling platform, a processing plant, and a penal facility built into the high cliff itself. It looks like the rig was operational as recently as last month, while the complex as a whole seems to have been abandoned in great haste. Maybe there was some kind of industrial accident, like a spillage, but outwardly there is no sign of such gross negligence or mishandling. The Spartans are also known for killing their prisoners when they retreat, and here all the cells have been opened. You volunteered to check it out and lead a recon team into the silent complex. This was far more than an ambrosia rig. You find grand halls where primordial parts were being studied and drained, much like you do to power the Argo. Further still, in what you guess is the command center, you find the bodies of several high-ranking Spartans. Their wounds seem to have been self-inflicted. In a side chamber, you find what looks like a Leocules stele. The Spartan scholars had more success, or luck, in deciphering their symbolic language, though sadly they did not leave their research notes, only the fruits of their labor, the translation itself. These scrolls tell of the Leocules' understanding of the black blood of the earth, what you know as raw ambrosia. In their time, the substance, found deep below ground, was less volatile and could be more easily studied. It was concluded that ambrosia was formed when large quantities of dead organisms were buried underneath sedimentary rock and subjected to both intense heat and pressure. These organisms are primordials, concludes the translation. Ancient, eons old at the time of the Leocules. We thought they came forth from the eschaton. Has all this happened before? You leave the facility with more questions than answers.
I mean, that's a big question. If we thought that the primordials came from the eschaton, but they were clearly documented before. We will assign the Umbral Strain pattern card to any of your current Titans. Name this Titan. Random Argonaut gains 1 Mnemos node. So here is our Umbral Strain. It has Ambrosia limit 5, and I am going to assign this to Skyseer because she has not that great of a trauma table anyway, and it would be nice to have extra Ambrosia limit on her. Not add new Titan. Where's our Skyseer at? Trauma pattern is Umbral Strain. Okay. Oops, sorry. I wasn't showing that on camera, but that's okay. Put this off to the side, and then we're gonna do random Argonaut. Let's do the Argonaut that rolls the highest. That is going to be 4, 3, 6, 7. Ah, dang, that goes to what's his name? Leocules. Go in and give him. Oh man, we're making these Mnemoses way unbalanced. I don't like that. I don't want to lose Death Follows. All right, take these out. And then we will move on to the next Inwards Odyssey.
One day you are summoned to the Aeon. You tense up, expecting an imminent battle, yet the relaxed atmosphere among the sages puts you at ease. It's more curiosity than danger. The Triskelion intercepted a momentary junction shadow, explains one of the philosophers, showing you the scrolls they use to interpret the Machina's readings. Stationary, out of the Argo's way. We've pinpointed the location. Spin it up, one of you says without hesitation, nodding to the Triskelion. It may be another trap laid by the Nietzschean or a double bluff. You don't have the luxury of second-guessing yourself. Soon you inhabit your Titan mounts, though since that ominous talk with the Nietzschean, you have had a hard time thinking of the giants as just that, and sprint toward the triangulated coordinates. Each bounding step like a god's leap, trees and streams, and rare dwellings abandoned due to threat of war, pass beneath you with startling speed, as if you are flying on wings of awesome power. It's such a liberating feeling, intoxicating even. A journey that on foot would take hours, if not days, is over in mere minutes. You stop at the edge of a riverworks canal, half excavated. This must have been an old river tributary, low and narrow and remote. Below, the construction work has revealed a crumbling Leocules structure cut straight into the cliffside. The natural wall of the canal lends plenty of purchase, and you descend into the relatively shallow waters of the river below. At the mouth of the Leocules ruin lies a small pile of bodies, Spartan soldiers, and at least one Thanporos assassin, still warm. You cautiously proceed. Just beyond the entrance threshold, in the half-light of the morning sun, barely reaching the vestibule Protheron. A haggard man in his late 50s sits atop what looks like a Cyclonus helmet. He wears a dented golden cuirass, emblazoned with a crest of a boar. So, he finally decided to call in the big guns? He says with a thick Achaean accent. He is so small and insignificant from the Titan's, point of view, though he still radiates power. You have no way of answering him verbally, but one of you extends their open arms, while another pats the pommel of their weapon before moving the hand away. We come in peace, but we're ready to fight. That is the meaning you try to convey. Sure, whatever. I'm fire. I'm ready to go either way, he spits, then raises his head and looks at you defiantly. So you still stick to covering their eyes, eh? He bemoans. Cannot be helped, I guess. How's the war going for you? Questioning yourself? That is not what you have expected at all. You point to the Spartan bodies. Off them. What's it to you? One of you points to the man, then throws their hands up. Me?
Little old nobody, he says impassionately, then cocks his head. If you're not with him, then you should turn around and run along. Nothing good will come from it. He'll either kill you or make you walk the path of old Ares. I couldn't touch him, and in my time I even managed to put a scratch on a few of them.
What is he talking about? You regret not taking at least one mortal with you, someone who could ask questions. Resigned to sign language, you shake your heads defiantly. You will not be dissuaded. The man snorts.
Figured as much. Well, don't let an old fart like me stop you. You do you.
He adds and jumps off the giant helmet.
You can stay here if you like, but I've been made. After all those years, so it's time to move.
After that, he disappears into one of the smaller passages, one the Titans cannot follow through. All you're left with are questions. You search around the vestibule and find what looks like a makeshift shelter. The man must have spent a long time here, years maybe. Besides the camp, the Leocules' chamber is empty, save for the old, rusted Cyclonus helmet. Although, on closer inspection, the headgear appears to be too small for a Cyclops. It would be more suited to a Titan. Who was this man?
Interesting. Who was that man? I don't know. We have some instruction here. Gain the Ares God form. Well, bam. Ares God form. Sorry, I took away my booster seat. We have Ares here. God of War. You cannot die by raising your rage over 9. When you are about to gain rage above 9, ignore the gain. Eschatonic Fuse. When you are about to perform a power roll, lose 1 Trespass to gain +1 power to this roll. It's a white power die, and yeah, that's kind of it. So he cannot die from rage gain and has a white power die. The white power die is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Then random Argonaut gains 1 Mnemos node. Oh my gosh, do not be, what's his name again? Leocules. I'm gonna be really pissed. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the same thing. Highest gets the Mnemos node. I'm gonna roll Leocules first just to see what we have to try to beat. A 1, haha, you're not getting it. Okay, let's just roll the rest of these together. That's gonna be a 10 for Otis 0. Congratulations on your first Mnemos node, Otis. All right. And we'll take these away. And I think we're finally done with reading things for now. Check the timeline and actually show you. Scribe. Okay, we are finally done with that. Days 38 and 39 were so long because of reading things and because of the fight. We're about to go into day 40. So we will need our booster seat still. Let me pull that back out. It's going to be coming. Adventure. We're going to be going west 1 space. So let's mark our timeline here. And we need to get tile number 48. Boom. 48. Okay, yeah, there's a Spartan stronghold. I was like, did I have the wrong tile? All right, so we do have an adventure hub. We have any other symbols here? Not that I see. Or hidden codes is what I'm looking for. No, I don't see anything. Okay. So that will come off. Go there. Boom. So we're going here. We go on a Spartan stronghold symbol, so we're gonna have to lose either a crew or a hull. Let's see, let's do, Let's do a crew, and then we'll try to save against losing it. So we'll gain an Argo Fate. We need a 6 or higher for this. 4, we do not save. All right. Then, what next here? Do our exploration cards. Oh, come on. I'll gain an Argo Fate to... No, we'll let him catch up here, and then if we get another adversary symbol, then we'll start spending Argo Fate. Shoot. Gain a Titan, and then gain 1 Rage. Titans, add new Titan, add... Okay, I'm going to pause really quickly and then start to think about the loadout that I want for what I imagine will be a Nietzschean fight coming up. So give me 1 second, then it'll help us decide what the rage is going to be. Actually, I got to do other things, so I don't really have time to think about this right now. I am just going to give it to... Let's give it to Otis 0. Okay. Did I gain a Titan already? Shoot. Did I gain the Titan already? Oh my gosh. I'm going to assume I did not. Or no, I'm going to assume I did. Maybe. I feel like I did. Okay. I'm losing my mind. Daedalus Laboratory. Okay, we're going to have to gain an Argo Fate here to stop him from smacking us. Gain 3 War Machine resources, then gain a danger. Gain a danger. I'm going to give that danger. Could be risky. I'm going to give it to... I think for the fight, I think I want to keep Leocules in charge of Game Changer because he'll have Death Follows, and then I also want to pair it up with Bellerophon. The only downside is that I would really like to have the cumbersome weapon on Otis 0. Anyway, we're going to give it to the person. We're going to give it to you because you have Death Follows, and we want to get you closer to having that black die. Okay. Clear these out of the way. Gain a Titan and gain a Rage. Okay, now I know I'm getting a Titan here. Add new Titan. I actually feel like I didn't gain that first Titan, whatever. When I go back to rewatch the video, I'll account for it. Then gain a Rage. We'll spread this out so we have, hopefully, well, almost everybody starting with 1 Rage. Let's give it to Hypatia. Okay. Gain 3 War Machine resources. We are not allied with the Helots. Okay. Let's see, these all come out and get shuffled back in. All right. We'll take this out, and then we will do an adventure, right? We're on an adventure tile. Yes, we are. So let's roll a die here. It's gonna be a 5. Now we gotta pull out the table, see what that leads to. 5, story card 2 is from the Ashes, but we already finished that, I believe. Yes. So we will re-roll the 10, so we can do, oh man, I'd really like to be able to finish off Consider the Ant, but we are not going to be able to, unfortunately. Darn. All right, so I need to do Parable of the Butterfly or Misery Industry. Oh, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So we were deciding between Parable of the Butterfly and Misery Industry. I'll just do Parable of the Butterfly, that's fine. Parable of the Butterfly. Canal Runners or Abyss Horizon. 1 to 5 is Canal Runners, 6 to 10 is Abyss Horizon. That'll be Canal Runners. Go to that page. Well, actually, that was selected here. Crime. Let's go do crime. Do not. Nice. Okay. I really need to get you some nodes for Spewed by the Abyss. Okay. Crime, I think, is what we were looking for. Yeah. You get 1. Okay. Go to voiceover. Adventure hubs. Parable of the Butterfly. Canal runners.
After several exhausting days, you finally find a canal city to spend the night. As the Argo enters port, you take a look at the impressive fortifications on either side of the terraced polis and notice several small figures running along its crenulations. Children holding sticks chase others wearing oversized masks. Once the terms of your stay are settled with the city's elders, you make your way into town. It doesn't take long for one of the children to approach you.
"You've got Titans on your ship, right?"
asks a boy, feathers stuck behind his ears and a makeshift cape on his back. A stick and a small knife hang from the rope around his waist. His face brightens when you nod, and more children join him. Some holding sticks and wearing capes made from old sails, others dragging behind them giant masks, representing some kind of monster with pointy teeth and red eyes.
"Can you show us?"
We got 2 options here. You don't see the harm in showing them, these kids, what a Titan looks like. It's better to show them a tame Titan than have them put their lives at risk looking for a wild one to satiate the curiosity. Option 2, the last thing you want is to give these children nightmares. They should stay away from Titans, tame or wild. Besides, your Titans are not zoo animals to exhibit. Refuse to show them a Titan. I mean, I feel like refusing to show them a Titan just is kind of it's going to make them want to look at it even more. They're going to try to sneak on board the ship, but also like, I mean, just show it to them and like normalize it a bit more. Make them seem like Titans are people too. Let's go with option 1.
The children are mesmerized by the Titans and get as close as they can before you pull them back. What surprises you the most is the utter admiration they have for the giant creatures and their total lack of fear. When the Titans in the stoa start to notice the visitors, you usher the kids outside.
"See? I told you some are taller than others,"
says the boy with feathers on your way back to town.
"We should build a contraption to account for the size."
The boy dragging the mask behind him protests.
"But how am I gonna move?" "You'll manage,"
answers the boy with the feathers, and they run off before you can ask them what they were talking about, leaving you with an unsettling feeling.
Before we go on with the story, I did forget to mark F4 during that last Inwards Odyssey. I just saw that. All right, let's do this. No, Argo, choice matrix, F4, boom, met, mysterious man. Very vague, but I need to keep moving here. All right, what are we doing? Party leader gains the rouse condition card, C0020. Ooh, who do I want to be the party leader? I mean, since everybody else already has 1 rage, maybe we'll just give it to Dastan. So that everybody is able to start at the level 2 of their Kratos table when they're attacking. Seems like a reasonable decision.
As night falls, another group of children runs past you, waving their sticks in the air, their makeshift capes fluttering behind them. Some have bandages sticking out from beneath their shirts or scars running down their arms and cheeks. The boy with the feathers leads them toward the fortifications, and as soon as they reach the walls, they start climbing.
Not this again.
Sighs an older woman.
They have this silly game.
She explains when you ask.
They beat each other with sticks. The ones wearing those awful masks always lose.
She looks at their silhouettes.
And the way they jump around. One of these days, they're going to break their necks.
You reach the children just as the game begins. The child wearing the mask starts first and lumbers around at the lowest level of the fortifications. They have to hold the mask with both hands, and its weight and size slow them down. Then the others join in, jumping from rock to rock, grabbing at ladders, waving their sticks in the air as they yell at the masked child. Just as the game heats up, one of them misses the ledge and falls 2 stories down. The resounding crack of broken bones makes you wince and hurry to help them. The other children play on. Eventually, the boy with feathers falls down hard on the masked child and whacks them with a stick.
I yield,
cries the masked child, but the boy with feathers only smirks.
The Titan lost. Now he must be punished.
Your blood freezes in your veins when he pulls out a small knife and turns it in his hands.
What should we take today? An ear?
The other children cheer as they gather around.
A finger?
More cheers. The boy with feathers turns toward the loser, an evil smile on his face.
Or maybe his tongue?
Some children make disgusted noises.
After all, Titans don't speak, do they? They're just mindless animals.
You step in before this goes too far, and the face of the boy with feathers darkens.
This has to stop. Can't you see how dangerous this is?
You ask as you point to the child with broken legs carried by one of your crew.
You will get yourselves killed.
Some of the children lower their heads and drop their sticks, but the boy with feathers looks at you haughtily.
Someone needs to defend this town when the Empire comes.
He spits.
You're not going to stay. None of the warriors ever do.
The resentment in his eyes is hard to bear.
I mean, kid, I get where you're coming from, but this ain't it, Chief. Option 1. This sick game needs to stop or someone will die or be crippled for life. This town is far away from the front lines. There's little chance of it being attacked by the Empire, and even if it is, children shouldn't be the ones defending it. Option 2. You could teach the children how to fight properly, how to use the fortifications to their advantage, but wouldn't that put them in even more danger? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to lose the humanity here. I'm going to go, and we're going to persuade the children to stop playing the game. Who knows how effective that's going to be? But we'll see if we can make it work. So we'll gain Helots diplomacy +1. Oops, no, not that. Diplomacy Helots +1. And then we will see 27.
Some of the children are quick to be persuaded, and you suspect they weren't fully on board with the game to begin with. The others take some convincing, but eventually drop their sticks and help the masked child up. The boy with the feathers holds his knife in a death grip, eyes lost in the void.
How dare you come and mess everything up?
He says through clenched teeth. There is no convincing this one, you surmise, and leave to see the town elders about bolstering defenses. They're quick to strike a deal. In exchange for some weapons, they will show you what the kids found nearby. In a narrow crevice in the canal wall, a wild titan has been trapped for several days. The elders were too scared to get a closer look. As you survey the area, You notice sticks and makeshift cloaks on one of the ledges, and a food basket below. The Titan's massive forearms bear tiny scars, and crude paintings of the mock battle adorn the rock wall. The children were playing here with the Titan, and it didn't attack them. You always believed all Titans were violent toward mortals. Huh. While your Titano-Kynagos team captures the Titan, you have your crew deliver several crates of weapons to the city elders.
Okay, I'm just saying, we've seen multiple times where it's like, oh, these Titans are not always violent, and they're doing things that are not violent behaviors. The fact that we have so many Titans on board the Argo, I don't know, I feel like maybe we should probably understand them a bit more at this point. Really driving me nuts. We're just so dismissive of it. Like, these things we're using for war? Oh, maybe there's more to them. But who's to say? We can't figure that out. There's no way of knowing. Even the Nietzschean was like, oh yeah, so you think they're just always violent creatures, huh? Alright, so we are going to gain 1 Titan and lose 6 War Machine resources. Argo, gain a Titan. Boom.
You depart the next day and wave to the children who came to see you off. Sticks and masks thankfully nowhere to be seen. Several days later, you get news of a city attacked by the Empire on that same canal. You think about the boy with the feathers and wonder if you made the right call.
Gain 1 Doom. We're pretty high on our Argo fate, aren't we? Yeah. I'll just gain this Doom. Alright, and then we are going into our back to our adventure phase here. I am going to end this video here. I was hoping to get into the actual story as we begin our assault, because despite our we don't have, what's it called, a lot of forces with us. We're kind of in that bottom tier. If I remember correctly, I think we potentially can get some more tokens on at the beginning of this. But we'll see. Like in part of that, I think there's an opportunity for more tokens, but I think I just want to get into the fight and see if we can try to get the end. But I need to end this video here because this is a long video. I need to move on with some other things. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next one.